You are Locked On Cougs, your daily podcast on the Houston Cougars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, recruiting updates. The Houston Cougars. O'Neal Delancy took his unofficial visit over the weekend, and man, he looked happy. I should point out he brought family members. He brought his basketball trainer. They went and checked out the Houston Cougars, and it feels like they enjoyed their visit. Now, the 6'2" guard is a 2027 prospect, a top 30 prospect on every recruiting board out there. Heading into his junior year, he's decided to go to Montverde Academy, which he publicly announced just 2 days after receiving his Houston offer in July. Things have shot up the charts for this guy. He plays for Florida Rebels in the AAU Nike EYBL circuit. And I would point out, I guess, that the 16 under version of that for folks that are being very persnickety about what level is what. EYBL is officially the highest one Nike. I think it's technically the 16 EYBL or something like that, right? But I would point out, though, that's the age-appropriate one. And the Florida Rebels have two other players on the perimeter, also in the top 75. Point guard Caden Daughtry and wing Carson Crawford, both really talented. And it's a lot of Florida kids and really, really talented. A lot of basketball academies in Florida right now. Even with all that talent around him, O'Neal Delancy managed to average 21.7 points per game, 5.7 assists per game, and shoot nearly 40% from three in Nike EYBL events, including Peach Jam. Really, really impressive stat lines. I loved watching his stuff on YouTube, though, after I saw the visit pictures to kind of get an idea of what this guy was. Like just the epitome of tough shot maker. Shoots it off the bounce, coming off screens, decent mid-range pull-ups, attacks the rim pretty well. Had a few dunks. I think he's going to be much more above the rim as he gets older. Certainly has the mentality of attacking the rim to go for a dunk. He just finished sophomore year, heading into his junior year. I think he's getting more and more springy as he gets older. Very competitive. The kind of guy that talks the right kind of trash after he makes a big bucket and he stares and whatever. And he's going to have, if he's choosing his Houston Cougars, I should point out, he will have the kind of moments that hits a big shot, looks at the student section, just flexes. He's that kind of energy at all times, just super competitive. Wants everyone to know when he makes a big key kind of moment. And it's not trashy garbage talk or whatever. It's really, it's pretty momentum swinging. It's uplifting his teammates. We got this kind of stuff. It's impressive. Love how competitive the guy was in the video I got to watch of him on YouTube. Really, really impressed. And Houston's pretty high on him. A couple coaches, Econom and Kellen Sampson, in his pictures as well. He'd be a big get, guys. 6'2" guard with a lot of skill, a lot of upside, a lot of skill. And it's always great to have it. Just if you can find a guard with some skill and that is really competitive, you can do a lot of things. The other big recruiting news of the weekend for the Houston Cougars men's basketball program was that legacy product Aziz Olajuwon did not choose the Houston Cougars, and Aziz, son of Hakeem Olajuwon, decided to go to Stanford. Verbally committed to Stanford this weekend. And I should point out, first and foremost, really happy for Aziz and the Olajuwon family. Great school, great education, obviously, at Stanford. And for what it's worth, ACC basketball now. It's strong basketball, too. Happy for him. Happy for a Houston high school basketball player that's getting to play at the highest or one of the highest levels of college basketball, right? That's all good news. That's all good things. It helps that he's also Hakeem's sons. We're hey, that's also cool to see happen, right? But a lot of people are upset about Houston not landing him over the weekend. And that feels entirely because of the legacy aspect of this. I don't think that Houston fans would be upset about Aziz not committing to Houston if his last name were not Olajuwon. If it was just a different 4-star prospect on the wing at 6'7" with the same skills and attributes, I don't think there'd be even if it was from the city of Houston, I don't think there'd be a soul this upset because Houston's proven they know what they're doing. And look, I get the legacy thing is a thing people thought was it's in the bag, but I also think that Houston's got between like Bryson Howard and Ralph Scott and some other big time wing options out there that have Houston pretty high on their respective lists. I think Houston's going to continue to do just fine as they have done the last several years. We've seen Houston really turn a corner the last 4 or 5 years. We're getting in the mix with top prospects kind of whenever they need to. Obviously, class 2025 is one of the greatest of all time, but they're doing okay. And so we need to trust the process there a little bit. And as far as people just being upset about the idea of a legacy getting away anyway, look, like Michael Jordan's kids did not go to North Carolina. Shaq had a kid at Texas Southern, a daughter at Florida, another daughter at Texas Southern. The kid that ended up at LSU technically started off at UCLA. Shaq's kid, right? Carmelo Anthony's son, Kiyan Anthony, did end up at Syracuse, but other top prospect in the same class, Elijah Arenas, is at USC, which is a rival of his dad, Gilbert Arenas' alma mater, Arizona. For every pair of Boozer twins out there, there's a Dylan and Ron Harper or DJ and DeJuan Wagner. And like, I just think that that's not as common as people want to make it out to be. And further, I want to make it like very, very clear that every kid's recruiting process, every kid's decision is much more personal than like, well, your dad went to this school, right? Is it cool to see your dad's jersey up in the rafters? Yes. Is it cool to stay home and play in the city you grew up in? Absolutely. Is there more to it? Yes, a lot more to it. Aziz is an incredibly talented wing, really high motor. I don't think of this decision he made as some whiff by Houston necessarily, and I think that if the only thing you were hoping for is that to get another Olajuwon, hate to spoil the pooch for you, but they don't play the same position. They ain't the same size. And I wish Aziz all the luck in the world. I think Akeem's a top 10, if not higher, guy all time in the history of the sports. I don't know that Aziz is going to do that. So like, they're just different, and I don't think it's crazy to be not like more happy for Aziz than I am upset about anything else. And that's the way it goes. Houston's going to do fine, class 2026. Have faith. Keep the focus. This has been Locked On Cougs, episode of Locked On Cougs presented by FanDuel. Thank you for checking us out today. Hit subscribe to the bus. You know we go live. We're doing things on Oregon State, getting ready for the Oregon State game all week long. So make sure you tune in each day for more to head up to Corvallis to beat the Beavers on Friday. Got some people coming on the show, so we're hoping to talk about them about that one as well. I'll be live post-game too, as late as that is. It's really going to be so late. It's going to be early, technically. So make sure you check that out when it comes. Big 12 squad each Thursday afternoon. We also just started, so new that we didn't play last weekend, so it wasn't quite the biggest deal, but we're doing a Sunday morning recap show as well. It goes live at 11 local time. So check out that each week, breaking down biggest games of the day before. So check us out. Locked On is everywhere, folks. Locked On Prime and Locked On Podcast. That means your team every day. Go Cougs.